Y'all talking about long live that nigga. Yeah, long live.
Kodak Black once had a tight bond with a guy known as Wiz, also called the Wizard, but that connection ended in tragedy. And now serious claims are bringing his name back into the spotlight. New information being discussed online hints that Kodak could be linked to a setup involving someone from his own circle. And that idea alone has people questioning everything. In 2021, Wiz was discovered outside a residence in Delray Beach after being shot, and the internet immediately ran wild with speculation. Some stories said his body had been altered in disturbing ways, including rumors about his head, but those claims were later shut down by investigators. Even so, police believe Wiz was harmed at another location and then placed outside the house to send a strong message. Authorities spent years rebuilding the timeline, and by 2024 they charged a man known as HMT Trey in connection with the case. According to reports, Trey and Wiz had long-standing tension tied to rival crews, including Wiz's Double M group.
Cannot go around I see your whole team. The next thing you know, when you lonely, you go around and Twitter about like you going through postpartum depression. Shut up!
The situation had already turned dark after Trey's mother, Misty, was passed in March 2021. She wasn't the first family member affected, since there were earlier incidents involving Psycho Bob's mother, and by 2020, both sides had already suffered major losses. That same year, in September, Trey's close associate Vis was shot in the street, pushing the conflict even deeper. Rumors started spreading that Psycho Bob had some involvement in the situation, and soon after, H.E. allegedly went after his mother and nearly ended her life. That move is why people believe the Double M side later responded by targeting Trey's mother, Misty, even though she was not directly tied to the conflict, and investigators still say HMT associate Liberia Sig may have also played a role in what happened to Wiz. New court documents dropped and shocked a lot of people because they claimed Kodak Black wanted to offer Sig around $20,000 to handle Wiz. Sig was already known on the streets for serious activity, with allegations saying he previously fired at Psycho Bob's mother and later struck Psycho Bob himself. Just weeks after Trey's mom was taken out, Sig had a reputation as one of the most active hitters in the city, which is reportedly why Kodak saw him as the go-to option. Eventually, Sig and several people around him were swept up in a major RICO case, with prosecutors linking him to 3 fatal cases and 8 failed attempts. He's still trying to get out on bond while facing the highest level of punishment, and that legal fight is what exposed these new filings. On the morning Wiz was found, his associate James Samuel allegedly sent him a photo showing the scene where Wiz was discovered. A few hours later, a man known as Lil Ray allegedly shared his location with Sig, and investigators say they later met up with another individual named Martavia Cross. Authorities believe this meeting happened shortly after Wiz lost his life, and they suspect Sig helped Trey relocate Wiz's body following the shooting. But phone records suggest the story runs much deeper than that.
People, bro, we pussy as fuck, man.
I know y'all from Africa too. I just Africans like y'all better than like we what you call it. Y'all Africans should have never sold niggas, bro. Bro, film. People, bro, why you think slavery go good, bro? I'm not mad at slavery, bro, cause white people enslaving people.
Data pulled from Sig's device shows he had been messaging a man named Denzel about a month before Wiz died, claiming that Kodak Black was willing to offer $20,000 to have Wiz taken out. Back in the earlier days, Kodak and Wiz were extremely close, and Kodak even signed him to his label in 2021. But things reportedly went left after money disagreements surfaced. For years, people have whispered about Kodak's possible connection to Wiz's Gone, and those rumors grew louder right after Wiz passed. Not long after the incident, Kodak released music that many listeners felt contained indirect shots aimed at the situation. In one track, he referenced taking control of the Double M name and hinted that mistakes within Wiz's circle led to his downfall. He later doubled down on similar themes while appearing on a high-profile song with Kendrick Lamar, where he spoke about chaos within his own camp and consequences tied to street loyalty. Some fans started breaking down Kodak's lyrics line by line, pointing out bars where he talks about paying bonds through apps, surviving rough conditions, and being surrounded by people who handle his problems, which immediately raised eyebrows. Listeners felt those lines sounded way too close to real-life situations, especially when he hinted at falling out with Wiz and suggested that actions on both sides led to serious consequences. When Kodak dropped another track years later, fans once again thought he was sending indirect messages toward Wiz. Lines about pulling up in luxury vans, moving quietly, and having layers of protection made people believe he was still addressing the situation without saying names. On top of the music, Kodak was also accused of posting online in ways that many saw as mockery after Wiz passed. That behavior shocked people even more because back in the day, Wiz and Kodak were genuinely close, almost inseparable. Around the same time, Kodak shared emotional posts online, talking about being alone and overwhelmed, which confused fans even more.
Bruh, it puts out just shot me, bruh.
Then things got messier when Kodak's own cousin, known as G1 Da Don, publicly called him out, accusing him of betraying people close to him and then playing the victim afterward. Rumors also claim Wiz wasn't the only associate caught up in this situation, as another individual known as 26CJ has been loosely connected to the same case. CJ was known to move around different circles, staying cool with Wiz, Kodak, and even people connected to the opposing side like HMT Trey, which already made his position look questionable. According to rumors, CJ allegedly turned on Wiz after being offered money by Trey's side to help set him up, and that decision put a spotlight on him fast. After Wiz passed, CJ reportedly posted online in a way many saw as taunting, showing large amounts of cash arranged to spell out a message, which only added fuel to the rumors. Not long after that, tension between CJ and Kodak started growing, with CJ hinting online that he knew information that could seriously damage Kodak's image. Before CJ could ever reveal what he was talking about, he was later found no longer alive under extreme circumstances. And that shocking ending had everyone pointing fingers. Many believed it was retaliation connected to Wiz, especially after Wiz's cousin Wham spoke online, suggesting CJ faced consequences for playing both sides. Others, however, believe CJ's silence was bought because he was getting too close to exposing Kodak's involvement in the Wiz situation. At the same time, Kodak's relationships with longtime associates began falling apart, with rumors claiming he even tried to distance himself from Jackboy in a dangerous way. Jackboy and Kodak had years of history, especially when Jackboy was locked up young, and Kodak was the only one sending support. But once Jackboy signed to Sniper Gang, things slowly went left. The tension officially popped off after Kodak took shots at NBA Youngboy, with Jackboy backing him at first, only for Kodak to later suggest Jackboy was the one who caused the fallout. The tension between Jackboy and Kodak kept growing, with both sides trading indirect shots online, and then things took a scary turn when an attempt was reportedly made on Jackboy's life.
Let's just rap.
I had your password, yes or no? I had your password, yes or no? I had your password, I had your password.
After one of Jackboy's shows, he and his crew were leaving in a Sprinter van, but at the same time, another similar van carrying uninvolved women was pulling out from the same location. Investigators say a vehicle pulled up and opened fire, but the attackers hit the wrong van, leading to the loss of an innocent woman instead of their intended target. That mistake shocked the city and shifted the entire situation into a much darker space. Police later arrested 13 people tied to a group known as OTF, saying the crew was trying to earn favor and recognition by going after Jackboy. There has never been solid proof that Kodak paid for anything, but many believe Jackboy knows more about what really happened between Kodak and Wiz. After Wiz passed, Jackboy posted a photo of himself with Wiz and shared a message showing love and respect, which many saw as a quiet statement. Things stayed mostly quiet until October 2025, when two men were passed in Kodak's neighborhood, and Jackboy made a slick online comment suggesting people should focus on legal work instead of street life. Kodak didn't respond publicly, but some believe the tension never truly died, and that Jackboy may have been targeted again behind the scenes. By 2025, Jackboy was running a restaurant in Oakland called Pierre Pierre, and in May of that year, the place suddenly became the center of chaos when shots were fired at the building. 2 people inside were injured but survived, and rumors immediately spread online claiming Kodak was behind it and had sent people to target Jackboy. Jackboy wasn't even at the restaurant when the incident happened, and to this day, there has been no proof linking Kodak to that situation. Still, the timing alone kept the speculation alive and pushed the tension even further. A few months later, in August 2025, Wiz's cousin Wham Spin the Band was shot and passed, and once again, people started pointing fingers at Kodak. After Wiz passed, Wham had been moving recklessly, and back in 2024, he had already survived being shot and spoke openly about it online. That same August, Wham reportedly got into a heated argument with someone he knew. Witnesses heard multiple shots, and by the time authorities arrived, he had already passed away. Wham and Kodak had fallen out after Wiz is gone, and Wham had previously released music where listeners believed he was calling out artists for allegedly funding violence without naming names. When news of Wham's gone broke, many assumed rivals caught him slipping. People also say Wham had been very active after losing his younger cousin Jib, who was Wiz's brother, and reportedly not involved in street activity. According to rumors, Jib was passed years earlier by people connected to A-Trey's circle, and that loss is believed to be the moment when both Wiz and Wham fully stepped into the conflict. In one of his tracks, Wham delivered aggressive bars that many listeners felt were aimed at people connected to his past, referencing losses, street pressure, and retaliation without naming names. A lot of people believe Wham was marked by multiple sides, but investigators currently think he may have been betrayed by someone close to him, rather than taken out by rivals. So far, no arrests have been made, and authorities have publicly stated they do not believe HMT's crew was responsible for what happened to Wham. That uncertainty is exactly why Kodak's name keeps coming up in conversations surrounding this entire situation. On top of that, rumors are spreading that federal investigators may be building a larger case involving Kodak, with claims that they want to shut everything down permanently. People online say his recent reckless behavior and public spirals could be signs that pressure is closing in, especially with new tension reportedly forming with NBA YoungBoy. At the same time, Kodak's position in the rap game doesn't look as strong as it once did. He used to dominate charts every release, but by 2025, his latest project moved far fewer units, and lately he's only been trending for controversy rather than music. And compared to online backlash, what could be coming next might be way more serious. Word is that investigators already have insiders connected to the Liberia SIG case, and if they can prove Kodak was involved in putting money behind Wiz's situation, everything could come crashing down fast. If you made it this far, make sure to like the video, share it, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives like this. Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know what you think is really going on. See you on the next one.